I cannot say enough great things about The Legend of Zelda. This is quite possibly my favorite game for the NES, maybe outside of Super Mario Bros. 3. But, I mean, after Donkey Kong and after Super Mario Bros., Shigeru Miyamoto comes out again with a completely different type of game.
It entirely kickstarted the genre and just opened pretty much everyone's minds who was playing video games at the time to just what a video game could be. How much could be in a video game, how many secrets could be in a game, just what the medium was truly capable of.
I was used to at the time finishing levels like Super Mario Brothers, like a 1 level, 2 level, an entire world to explore. It was confusing. I didn't know where to start and where to end. I didn't get it at first.
You go into a cave, you get your sword. Good luck to you. Go figure out what's next.
There was a lot to it. It was more complicated than any game I knew at the time, and it was sort of like a community effort to figure this game out.
The Legend of Zelda is the name of the game. The main character is not Zelda. Zelda's the princess that you're trying to rescue. You are Link. You're not Zelda.
The whole world is open to you, and you can explore it at your leisure. Some places obviously harder than others, but it's up to you to go where you want. And it's this openness that was very new to video game players at the time, especially in the home console market.
You know, you go north, there's mountains. You go west, there's woods. There's water around the coastline you can go. And you can explore, you go into caves and talk to people, shopkeepers. You know, there's secrets. You can find moblins that give you cash. There's a gambling game. There's people that give you tips. I mean, this was unheard of in video games before this.
I spent days, weeks, and summer vacations just burning every damn tree on every single screen. Just maybe there's a staircase there, and it turns out you would end up owning money, but then I would know. And then you go to every single wall and you bomb every single wall is right between them though, so you can get 2 squares at once, so you don't have to waste a bunch of bombs.
So many cool things about the game. I know that I always loved that when you had full hearts, the sword could blast. That's another thing that I loved as a kid, that little noise that it made when you shot your sword. That pew! Pew! I mean, it was just so cool. All the sound effects, the music, everything about it was just so cool and really just drew you into the game.
How about the first time you enter the dungeon and that moody music comes on? And you're like, holy shit. This feels like an entirely different game than the nice, bright, cheerful overworld. You have different enemies. You have to find the compass in each level to see where the Triforce is hidden with the enemy. You get the map so you know where you're going. You find the keys.
Zelda had lots of weapons and items that you'd use to progress through the game, and there was kind of an order that you would go through things, but you could do things completely out of order.
Hell, if you don't want to upgrade your sword, you don't have to. You don't have to use certain weapons in the game if you don't want to, you know? There's people that go online and just beat the game using like bombs and boomerangs, you know? It's ridiculous how much freedom you have in this game.
Miyamoto's inspiration for the game came from exploring fields, woods, and caves in Kyoto, and just experiencing the wonder of being a kid and discovering new things.
It was the first NES game Nintendo put a battery backup in, which showed how important it was. Otherwise, it can take you, 10, 12 hours to play this if you take your time and don't know what you're doing.
But when I finally did understand what the hell was going on, it became the greatest game I'd ever played. I love The Legend of Zelda, a pure classic.
I think The Legend of Zelda might be the first video game that ever got me so hooked that I wanted to play Legend of Zelda outside of the video game. Like, I wanted to be Link.
Obviously, Zelda would be huge. It's one of the biggest gaming franchises still today. Hugely successful on Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, Wii U. They're still pumping these out. CDI, the great CDI versions. We love you, Zelda, except for those CDI ones.